In the 2017 to 2018 school year, districts serving the poorest students raised $2,710 less per pupil in revenue than the wealthiest districts, a 14.1% gap, and they spent nearly $1,880 less per student. That shortfall translates to larger class sizes, fewer counselors, obsolete labs, and no funding for after-school programs. Even the so-called Free Public Education Council hid in costs. In 2018, 15% of U.S. households with school-aged children reported not having high-speed internet at home, rising to one-third among lower-income families and rural communities, forcing students to choose between data plans or to have dinner. Now, we talk about corruption, when tax dollars don't reach the classrooms. Public education is primarily funded by local property taxes, a system ripe for mismanagement. In Chicago Public Schools, a 2014 Office of Inspector General Audit uncovered kickbacks, no-bid contracts, and nearly $900,000 stolen in a single reimbursement scheme. When scandal erupts, funds meant for textbooks and teacher salaries vanish into the pockets of a few. Now, how does poverty and corruption reinforce each other? Corruption shrinks already meager budgets, forcing under-resourced student districts to raise local fees or cut essential services. Wealthy districts dodge these issues by hiring lobbyists to shield their funding, while poor communities lack the political ability to fight back. The result is affluent neighborhoods draw new businesses, new homeowners, boosting property values and school revenue, while struggling districts get stuck and fall further behind. A self-perpetuating cycle of inequity. In 2021, Pennsylvania's Commonwealth Court ruled the state's school funding formula unconstitutional, declaring it unfair to poor districts with outdated textbooks and crumbling facilities. Advocates celebrated, but without a clear mandate for reforms, many schools still wait for updated budgets and renovations. Now, how do we break the cycle, so to speak? There's no single fix, but solutions do exist. First, the federal government could boost its share of school funding beyond the current 8 to 9%, matching other developed nations, and around 15%, and shielding vulnerable districts during downturns. Another thing we can do is make states adopt weighted student funding, channeling extra dollars to students with greater needs, who may be low income, learning English, or those in special education, rather than tying budgets strictly to local property values and zip code. Utah and Georgia have already narrowed funding gaps this way. Finally, expanding programs like the Affordable Connectivity Program, which offers low-income families a broadband discount, ensures every student can complete online assignments without choosing between Wi-Fi and the cost of groceries. Everyone has a call to action when it comes to our children's education. Poverty and corruption don't have to define American education forever. You should demand transparency in how your school district spends its money. Support state-level reforms for equitable weighted funding. Push Congress to strengthen federal investment, not only to support the education, but to support the children, because every child in every zip code deserves a fair shot at learning. Speak up at your next school board meeting. Volunteer with education equity nonprofits. And you should remember, education is our nation's future. We should fund it wisely.